Stand by. Give her resin. Very nice. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta mix the resin. Son of a. Grab another bud. So, get some resin here. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, look at that. 41. 41 ounces of resin. We're going to do 21.5%. See how that goes. 1.5% will be 40 cc. Okay, calculator. That's what it's up on. It's a little warm today. I hope that doesn't bite me in the ass. That could bite me in the ass, but we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. Turn my resin. So 20 cc. Stand by. There we go. Alright. Before we mix, here we go. Here we go. Let's see here. Going up the ladder. Cross the stringers here. Caution curiado. You know what happens. What happens when you get in a hurry. Alright guys. 41 ounces of vinyl ester there. Okay. Kind of winging this, so just gonna see what happens. First thing I want to do is drop some of this torn 3/4 ounce that I got on all this putty. I'm gonna cover up all this putty real quick, because if I stick my roller in it, it will stick to my roller and it will make a mess. We may have to make some adjustments here. Well, looks like I only got one piece left, so adjustments will be made. Again, what I'm doing right now is covering up the putty. Oh, we got 2 pieces left. Look at that. Cover up this. Perfect. Man, did you see that? Even a blind squirrel gets a nut once in a while. Alright. 2 pieces left. A little right there. Happy, happy. A little bit right there. Look at that. That piece there, and I got a little patch for that. Anyway, what made me think of doing this is, number one, I don't have time to edit. I really don't. So, how you avoid editing is you go live. You don't edit. So, anyway, thought I'd bring you guys along for this. Now, I saw, but this thing, whew, bad. We're going to do a pretty healthy layup here. Just on the, basically the hull, the stringer, the bulkhead joints. That's all finished. The keel is done. I probably added about 3/8 of an inch to the keel before I put the PVC in there. And I haven't caught you guys up to speed as far as the pickups down here and stuff, but you'll see. You'll see what we're doing here. Again, the idea here is I really don't have time to edit, so I figured I'd just show you what I'm doing live. When I was working on the Bertram, Cap was used to keep me company all the time. So Cap, I'll just assume you're here with me. And what I loved about working with Cap is he was asking me questions. Because he was always interested in why I did what I did. So I'm going to imagine Cap sitting here with me asking me questions. I'll try and answer those questions as they come to me. And what we're working with here is just what I call a hot dog roller. These are nice because if it does start gelling me, I can just toss this in the trash, not in the garbage can. I have a bucket dedicated to my material waste, 5-gallon bucket. Everything goes into that. Resin, putty, everything. Paint, product. Anyway, so we got some 3/4 rods here, nice corn edges. Really, really soft. What this is doing is sealing that putty. If that putty should kick before I get my complete laminate done, that'd be just fine. Just gonna shape it a little bit. And another thing I'll tell you about this layup is I actually don't mind if this layup is a little bit resin rich because this is a water tank. And vinyl ester resin is perfect for this. Vinyl ester resin is some pretty chemically resistant material, good stuff. And let's see here. In the past, I would use epoxy or something like that. I'd build out a vinyl ester, everything, I'd coat it with epoxy, and then I'm sitting there thinking, but that's just another chemical. I think that this will be just more than adequate. Way back in my early days when we started working with vinyl ester, we had some AME stuff we used to work with. And let's see here. We did build some diesel fuel tanks with vinyl ester, and that was actually okay back in the days. You could do a diesel fuel tank with vinyl ester, and it was chemically resistant. No problem there. So if it'll do diesel, I'm sure water will be fine. If you guys have any questions about that or want to chime in? Styrene. This is styrene based, guys. Styrene is some pretty harsh stuff to the lungs, the eyes. When you're working down in a hole like this, it will tend to hang down in the bottom of the hole. So if you've ever gel coated like the inside of a mold, deep down inside of a console, up at the top, the flanges could be all completely cured and the bottom would be wet because of the high concentration of styrene down in the bottom. Just the vapors. Anyway, I just got a blast in my eyes a second ago. Alright. Not doing too bad. All I was trying to do, like I said, is seal the putty. Pull a nice little radius in there. The purpose of the radius is to soften the bend there, or for the fibers to roll into a nice smooth bend. Fiberglass does not really like sharp corners as far as stress. So whenever I'm working, I try to make nice, big, smooth, rolling corners. I try to do whenever possible. There's certain features that just does not going to happen. Look at that. You guys see? Get my head out of the way. I'm looking at the back of my head. I've got to get it in there because my glass is going to go that wide, so got to use it. Might make some tweaks and adjustments. Normally I use latex. I can wear a pair of latex gloves, dip them in acetone. The nitro's a little bit thicker. and give me a little bit more just bump protection for until this cut is all healed up. But what was the point of that? Normally I just use latex stuff. Keeping your hands clean is absolutely, man, you can do clean work if you can keep your hands clean. Anyway, drop some. Let's see how it goes. So anyway, the deal is, solo, you know, one man show, all that. Sitting in front of a computer. That's what all I had to do. That'd be cool. You guys can help that. My stuff happens. I get unsubscribed from some of the video channels that I watch. So check, make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, that button. That'd be great. Appreciate it. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps me out tremendously. Always been trying to grow the channel. My name is Damon, guys. Vernese Customs here. Boat builder since I was, I don't know, 16 years old. What you'll see differently on this channel that you probably won't see on other channels is I'll use slightly more expensive materials than your typical DIY guy. And I think that that's kind of where I want to go with my channel. I don't want to really try and show. There's so many other channels out there you guys can watch that show about 25 inches long. Right now I'm wetting about 25 inches long. Right now I'm wetting mat side of that 1708. You don't know the number. It's not bonded with starch. Like the stitching is what holds. The stitching is what holds the 1708 together, or it holds the mat into the. Oh shoot! You know what, guys? I've got to run over and grab my scissors. Man, that styrene is hefty. Oh, I have to get a break. Let me grab my scissors, guys. I've got to put a little nip in there. I try to eliminate or not cut if I don't have to, but that's going to require a little nip there. Literally dancing on top of the stringers to get back and forth there. I've got a couple pieces of plywood. Alright, see that little nip? Keep my scissors clean. Little nip there. Let's pull this off to one side. Another thing I'm doing is, this is 5-inch wide, 1708. I'll have to nip that a little bit more. Bastard. Woo! That styrene is grit. Got put another little nip in there. Okay. Perfect. Get that other piece on there. I'm really curious how much time we're going to get today with 1.5% vinyl ester up on the vinyl ester. I use full strength paddles, by the way. We're working with 925, I believe. 925. You probably cannot see anything, but you can hear me. Anyway, you see the product when I'm done. You'll be able to see. In between you, my head's in the way. Alright, let's get the other piece on. It's been over here soaking. I partially wet out these two pieces together. Partially because there's already resin in here. Yep, let's get me a little nip too. Oh boy, gosh, battery down in that hole. May have to get a little fan. I mean, I'll be done with this, but I may need a little fan for working in holes like this. I'll be done, but whatever. Eyes is watering. You could use a full face mask. The respirator I'm using has, I think, organic filters. Or the organic peroxide, what have you. Alright, so now you might be asking, well, why am I doing this? Why are you adding this layers? So when we infused the boat, we loaded the boat with a, I would call it a light laminate. It's a performance type laminate. Typical to what the builder that was helping us out in the beginning, that's what they would build in their boat. Nothing wrong with it, except that it's for performance and on the light side of my likings. I like heavy laminates, heavy duty, run her up on the rocks cap, grind your way off. That type of stuff. So the boat will perform however it performs when it's done. And we'll just have to wait and see. It does look like we're going to be able to squish 300 gallons of gasoline in 2 saddles, sitting right on the CG of the boat. It should be pretty good for this boat. The 27, very deep 27. All right, so what I'm wetting out now is this is a 3408 triax, and just so you know, that 40 ounces of resin that I kicked off in the beginning is, and you're gone. Now in today's conditions, this weather, I should be gelling approximately 30 minutes. This is going to be a pretty thick layup. So at 1.5%, we don't want to delaminate to overheat. This is 3408 triax, 6 inches wide. What I'm doing here is, oh man, that's styrene. I didn't account for that, guys. Let's be honest with you. Cut me a little bit off guard. Oh, so another thing too is you guys are watching this via my phone, and I don't know how long my phone can go before the battery dies. We'll find out. Okay, push that down a little bit. That 34 weight. What I'm trying to do here is get the layup inside of the water tank completely finished. All the reinforcements I want to get in the tank. Then when I get the lid on, or the top of the tank, I'll just call it the lid. When I get that on there, I'll continue the rest of the layup and the areas around it. I do lay the mat, well, let's make sure. The mat side is down. Yep, correct. Mat side down. That's the way I do it. I stagger these seams a little bit here and there. Try not to pile them on top of each other. Okay, so that is 34. 2 layers of 3408. That's going to burn up the resin we got. This stuff is nice material. Look at that. So it's soaking on my board over here. Oh, by the way, my board is over here with some 18-inch masking paper on the board. Got actually 2 layers there, kind of staged. When that first set of masking paper starts to get sticky, too sticky to work on, I'll just peel it away, like a peel away, discard it, and then I'll have another piece of paper ready to go underneath there to start fresh on. Kind of when you're working with this type of material that's going to be kicking, it will be kicking. This layup will be kicking before I finish the entire job in this area here. So you kind of got to go in stages. You know that's going to happen, so you plan on it. Get some bulk of that air out there. What's nice about these hot dog rollers is they're soft, but they will pull some air out. They're not like a hard roller will, but they'll get most of it out, which is helpful. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the last 17 on here. So we got 2 layers of 1708 at the bottom there. This 1708 is 10 inches wide. This is a triax also. A triax is just like a regular plus or minus 45 biax, except that it has one at the 0, which runs I don't know how you want to say that, on the 0 degree axis, so it runs down the center, parallel to the center, along with, I don't know how to describe that other than what I just said. I'm not a scientist, I'm just a business. Now, I just emptied my bucket. Bucket's empty. That's 40 ounces from the start. We can go around here and start dressing up if we got any puddles and such. There's really no air that I need to go and push out. And if that side kicks before I get to it, then that's just fine. Shouldn't get too hot. The only downside to that being is if you start to get a good hot exotherm, which is the heat derived from the chemical reaction. Exotherm, that's our word for today. That could speed up the, if I go over here and lay up and that's getting hot, it'll rush me a little bit and getting the glass down and rolled out. That's just how it is, that's the way it works. I'm going to try and show you that. If it happens to us, then we'll just have to move faster. This is 1708 triax, inches wide. I'm going to cover up all those layers. Try to. Should. Better. That was the plan. There's a couple of nips and tucks down there. Oh, good Lord, guys! I can't even explain how intense it's like getting pepper sprayed. Eyes are burning. You know what? We could pull this up a little bit. This stuff will stretch. Boy, when you get into some 1208, you have to stretch. We're also pulling up a bunch of strings here too. 1208, you almost really can't wet out on a board and then move because it just stretches too much. Woo! But anyway. That glove's gonna fall apart. So the reason I like, I'll just run that by you real quick. The reason I like using latex gloves is because you can clean your hands in acetone. And acetone doesn't eat the latex, it's nitrile. And in fact, these nitrile gloves are probably going to disintegrate pretty quick here. This one is. The sucky part is when your hands are wet from wearing gloves. I'm in the middle of the layup here. And taking the acetone out of my roller over there. Yeah, it's hard to put your glove on a wet hand. I can tell you that. You gotta dry your hand the best you can. Sometimes you can put multiple gloves on before you start. And that's nothing wrong with that either. You just peel one away as you go. Okay. Good on the amount of resin. I know what we're doing in the bucket. There's nothing in it. My eyes are watering pretty good. Feel like I got maced. Sorry for sniffing and snotting. If you were sitting here with me, you'd probably be doing the same thing. So. Oh yeah, that's nice. Everything nicely saturated. Nice. So, if anyone's curious, like, I actually like doing hand layup. It's very, very, well, the way I try to do hand layup is pretty dang meticulous. You can do very precise glass work. I like doing small layups that require a little bit of skill. A little bump there. That bump's going to be problematic, so I'll tell you what we're going to have to do. I'm going to have to nip it a little bit more. You guys probably can't see it. If I pile glass on top of it, it might lay down, but it might not. So, you guys probably can't see that, but there's a little tiny 2 layers of glass have. Yeah, I need to cut that just a little bit more. Fold it over here, and if they bunch up like that, they won't lay down. I don't care how much resin or glass you put on top of them. Maybe if you bury enough resin, just make a big puddle of resin, maybe it would work, but I'd opt against that. Whew! So another thing that styrene will do on your skin here, it'll give you a tingly feeling. And matter of fact, back in the days, we were shooting gel coat on the inside of a 39-foot walk around that I had built. We had some guys that were helping us with the finishing process. Good bunch of guys from Stewart, Florida. Talented at what they do, and they're expediting the finishing process. And we were spraying the entire inside with gel coat and the interior. The owner demanded an all gel coat finish. This was not an easy thing to do, and that's what he wanted. So everything was post finished in gel coat. Needless to say, when you go spray gel coat in an enclosed area, if you've never done it, we've done it a handful of times in my career, been part of it, you will get tingly in places that you couldn't even imagine. And it's not in a good tingly. This stuff will make your skin crawl. I know, it's really good. Have a look, guys. I imagine most of the time you're probably just looking at the back of my head, but at least you can hear me. So, let's see here. Let's move along. I do need more. If that decides to kick on us, we'll give it a little roll real quick before I go kick this. If this does decide to kick on us, it'll just be, it'll be. My plan is to do this section right here, and then drop a piece of mat on this entire port side here. One piece of 3/4 ounce to go from just one whole piece to cover everything up. That's my plan. That could change. I'll tell you one thing, like I said, I did not plan on the styrene down in this hole. It's obnoxious. Where all those pleats are and all those cuts, got a nice little fat little nugget there, but it's holding a lot of resin in it. Just get all that excess resin out. When I was young and when I first started in this career, this business, we were building molds, and so we worked with some fellows that were making molds. And in building tooling, fiberglass mold tooling, you don't want any air on the surface of the gel coat there. And so we were doing a hand layup, 3/4 ounce. Might have even used bale material back in the day, just like 1/4 ounce. That looks pretty good. Anyway, so it just kind of sticks with you. No air, not allowed. No air, none. Just what we strive for. Now, if you have seen a production boat, and you've seen the laminate, the actual laminate, you likely have seen air in it. That's just normal. I don't think all the people that are working in that industry or have been taught or trained any differently, so that's just the way it is. Alright, I need some more resin, guys. We gotta get that kicked. This looks good. Now, if this does kick before I can get 3/4 ounce on it, that'll be just fine too. I'll deal with it. I'll sand it down and just drop some 3/4 ounce on top of it. We can't cross that bridge right now because I need more resin. Hold on. Here a minute. Woo! Like I got me. Zeroed out my scale. Another 40 ounces so you can stay consistent. I think we got a little bit more. Ooh, 46 ounces. Heavy pour. 46 ounces. And we're going to do about 21, 22, 23. We'll do 20, just over 20, 21. Drop. There it is. We're using the same bucket I just used. It's not gelling off or kicking yet. So if it does start to kick, I'll grab another bucket. But I don't grab a new bucket. These buckets have already been used and they got a lining of resin already in them. Makes them a little more sturdy. And they build up kind of a resin liner. I don't try and crack them and steal them out every time. Just let them use. Tell you what, you break from that. Okay, fully knit. Fully knit. Let's roll. Oh, dribble. Oh man, look at that. Look at that down here. Anyway. Gotta keep it clean. Gotta keep it clean. Got a little dribble here. Alright. Keep these crusty rags all over the place. Crusty rags are working up there. So. Come across your fingers here. Don't fall with resin in your hands. Yes, come down the stairs. Alright guys, 46 ounces. Go to the next section here. Drop some more mat on that. Well, I've got it cut here, so let's go ahead. Already cut. Go ahead and put it on there. Ready to go. The reason we put the 3/4 ounce underneath here, in case you're wondering, is to make a nice little cushion that will start to hold resin as I wet it out. And then when I put more glass on top of it, the glass that I put on top of it can be not so overly saturated and be a little bit dry. And it can pull the resin from this. Woo, that thumb is sore, yeah. I don't know if you guys saw my thumb. Oh, that was horrible. I was grinding on this PVC that made the water tank pick up. And I did that. And I think my disc just bit into the PVC and it swung the grinder with a little bit more momentum than I expected. Right into my hand. Ate right through a leather glove like you wouldn't believe. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Thought I was being careful, but you know. Moral of the story there is sometimes you can, you know, protect yourself and things just happen. And that's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do, right? Just deal with it. Completely unexpected. I was being careful. But it is what it is. All right. Again, I don't care if this is a little oversaturated in here because of what it is, the water tank. And that's going to help it be, what is the word? Resist blistering. Somebody told me that in mold making, your first layer on the gel coat, when you're building a mold, or whatever, even a part, your first layer should actually be a little resin rich. You need a higher concentration of resin in glass. That's nice. Very nice. Very nice, guys. Now, at this point, not joking, this is going to start chasing us. So, you can't dilly-dally around too much. I've been goofing off, taking my time, running my mouth. At some point, this could bite us. We goof around, drag our feet too long here. So we're going to get hustling. Start slinging some fiberglass on here. So real quick guys, we're doing a live layup here. I came up with this, just like I said, because I really don't have time to do the editing and yet I really like the YouTube platform. And I want to teach you guys what I do. I've always wanted to be a teacher in this business, and the only thing I could think to do is just show you what I do. And you guys can ask questions, leave comments. I'm open to questions and comments. Whatever you guys got on your mind, throw it at me. This is 1708 by 5 inches. Oh, little bit oversaturated. I didn't need to put that much resin on it, but I did. So, ooh. It is what it is. Staggering the seams, I'm moving this over, that side down. When I say stagger the seams, I'm not piling the seams on top of each other. I always try to move them. There you go. That is nice. So there's a double overlap of 1708 down the middle of the radius where all the stress is going to go. And then I'm spreading it out. So did I do a 3408? Two of them. Same fashion. Same exact fashion. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Let's not get too carried away. Tell you what I'm going to do. That's too much resin. Let me wet out this 3408. Let it marinate. I'll come back over here and work this a little bit more. That's going to be too wet. Too wet, guys. Too much resin. All right, I'll put the I'll do these 3408s a little bit drier. Knotting. Telling you, man, this stuff's like getting maced. I apologize, but I bet if you were here with me, you'd be sniffling too. I'll put money on that. Nobody want to bet me. Whew. I have a mask full of a mess. I'll take this off. All right. Not oversaturated. Not oversaturated. All right, these two 3408s are sitting over here soaking. Just gotta let them, just give them a minute. There is too much resin in this laminate right here. I'm gonna push it to the top instead of it running down and me chasing it down here. I'll push it up like this. When I do my last layer of 1708, I'll do it super dry. And it'll soak all this up. I don't know if you guys can see any of this. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Again, I am a one-man show. So, I'm doing the best I can here. All I can do is park that phone on the spot and talk to you guys. There's two layers, 1708. Alright. It's tricky. Tricky. That's good. 2408 by 6 inches. This is a triax. I did the math. I think that's the exact same layup I did down the keel. Comes out to just over 5/16 of an inch. Fully saturated, rolled out. Probably more like 3/8 of an inch, to be honest. Whew. This is good stuff right here, this 3408. A lot of the brands that I get, I don't know exactly what this is. Could be Tex brand. I deal with a couple different suppliers in Florida. Couple different suppliers down here. I'm not saying you guys can get all the stuff that I use because it's not all of it is available in retail or online. But that said, it doesn't really matter. You source it out wherever you can get it. And That's good stuff. 3408 triax. I have some of these rolls in 38-inch wide too. I'm saving those for a 23 build. If I can build another 23, guys. If I get to it. I am no, what is it, spring chicken? Is that what they say? Coming up, see, I turned 50 last year, so I don't feel 50. Well, I take that back. Lately, I've been starting to feel 50. It is what it is. Mentally, I'm 21 years old. I don't know if that's good or bad. I should probably shut up. We'll drop that. Let that one lie. Alright, so all that excess resin that you saw pouring down, this will soak it up. Man, that's good stuff. There's definitely different qualities of glass, guys. And when you find something that works good, you stick with it. There used to be a vinyl ester resin that I could get, was the best vinyl ester resin I've ever worked with. Comparable to AME 6001. I gotta get you guys what model, I'm sorry, what this resin is. I'll take a picture of it, I promise. I'll tell you what it is. We're getting a fat layup back here, but that's good. Don't see a lot of stress. This is the working end of this vessel. Well, I mean the back end is pretty much where all the stress from the engines go at the transom. Yes, but this side will take the slamming, pounding abuse that the transom won't see. So anyway, that's it there. Yeah, this is the working end of this boat. Alright guys, so while I got you, or if I have anyone, I could be the only one here, and that'd be just fine. But while I got you, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you subscribe, thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. I do think that YouTube deletes some subscribers, and I don't know why that is, but like I said, I have been unsubscribed from some channels. Not by my own doing, or not intentionally. Maybe I bumped the button accidentally or something like that. But check to make sure you're subscribed. I appreciate that. I think we're almost at 2,000 at this time. Almost. Let's see, 200,000. 2 million. Wow, did you guys 2 million subscribers? What would you do? What would you do? So yeah, if I did grow the channel enough, I would do all kinds of projects. Maybe I would do more live streams. What do you guys want to see from me? Help me out here. If I were you and you were me, and I could use, or you could use me to do your will, your bidding, what would you do on this channel? Leave a comment, tell me what you would do. If you had my skill set, my opportunities, build a boat here, what would you guys do for the channel? That'd be a good question. Look at that. Again, when I finish this out, it'll be when the top of the tank is actually put on. I could do it now, but I'd like to do it with the top of the tank. One layup. Bam. So, probably can't see it, but there's a little wrinkle here, guys. Right here in the corner. Sometimes you can work, you know what? I don't want to be lazy here. Nope, not going to do it. It got stretched. I don't want to be lazy, but sometimes you can work those corners out just by manipulating and working the glass a little bit. But it was not going to happen. Okay, so we've got a pile of laminate right here in the corner, guys. I mean a pile of glass. That's gonna get worn. I can already tell you. But I decided to go with the 1.5% catalyst. Very glad, because I didn't foresee so many overlaps right here. That's what we got. Looks good. Give it a quick hard roll. I got it probably. Woo! Again, apologize for sniffing and stuff, but my eyes are watering. My nose is running. Bad. This is a 3/4 by 3 inch roller. This is a wood handle one, cheapy one. I just picked this up randomly wherever. I have some rollers that are probably 15 years old. I still use. Keep it clean. I have noticed, I started blending lacquer thinner in my acetone pail. And I've noticed that the lacquer thinner is starting to eat up some of the plastic handles. Lacquer thinner is pretty harsh stuff. But the reason I did it was because the acetone evaporates so fast. I have learned when I'm doing a wipe down preparation, or like a gel coat spray or something like that, I'll do, or actually, no, let me correct, let's step back. After I've sprayed gel coat, say in a finishing, when I get to the finishing process, flame. After I spray gel coat, even if you add Duratec, the surface is still going to remain a little bit sticky with overspray and whatever. You can't spray a 23, 27 foot boat, the whole thing at one time, and keep the entire surface wet. So parts will get oversprayed, and that thin film of overspray will stay tacky. So if you go the next day and you're going to go sand out your gel coat, it'll be sticky. So what I do is I mix lacquer thinner and acetone together, probably about 25% lacquer thinner and my acetone. And then I'll put that in a bucket, grab some rags, and I wipe down the entire surface. When the rag I'm using gets too sticky or covered in pigment from the gel coat, again, you're just wiping off the spray, really. I grab a clean rag and I just throw that one. That's a bigger rag, set it to the side to clean up spilled resin, messes, whatever. What have you. Alright guys, again, I'm talking to you and I know I'm not going as fast as I could. My brain's thinking and stuff. I don't want to get caught here. Especially live. Could you imagine? Whoa, what if everything's kicking off live? That'd be funny. It could happen. And I'll deal with it. It very well could happen. I may do this more often if you guys like it. Let me know. That could easily happen. We'll just see how I do it. Wouldn't be the first time. Would not be the first time. Alright. Whew! This glove's going to fall apart here in a minute. Let me get this side good. I've got a pile of resin that I don't know how much time I'll have. How much time I'll have to get rid of that, really? Find out. Alright, so this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Let me pull it up a little bit more. Go ahead and delete that. This could be problematic for me. Alright. Put that there. So that's 3/4 ounce, guys. I already tore it to that size. The resin's still liquid. My paper over here I've been laminating on is getting sticky now. Paper's getting sticky over there. This, I wish it would have covered the top. It did not. Not gonna. Got some more 3/4 ounce for that. That's okay. That's okay. Just note these 3/4 ounce at the top here. Now this is 3/4 ounces just for finish, but in this case, the 3/4 ounce is covering up all those gnarly seams, all those fabrics, and it is creating a nice barrier for water. I don't want water intrusion in the laminate. So this is going to be a nice little barrier coat. Look at that. Isn't that happy? Happy 3/4 ounce. I don't know if I'm getting used to the styrene or if it's just whatever. Still pretty bad. Isn't that happy? Look at that. Happy glass. I'll drop another 3/4 down the middle here. And we gotta finish this back. I gotta get a little 3/4 up the back here where it tips on us. Let's do that before we regret it. Alright guys, so what I want to do is get some mat on the back here. That first heavy laminate that I did right here. Woo! Golly. I'll have to wear a full face next time. Still doesn't matter. You still feel it. This is boat building, guys. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my world. The owner of this boat, very nice gentleman. I don't know how much information I'll share. I don't ask permission, but this is not our first project together. It's actually interesting. Way back in my early days, we built a boat for a gentleman, and he took it somewhere else to have a 3126 Caterpillar installed. And that boat was rigged out somewhere else. And uh-oh. Alright guys, we're gonna have to improvise here. Gotta improvise. I'll come back to that topic in a second. Right now what I need is, I used up all my okay, so I used up all the narrow glass in the very beginning that I had torn. So I don't have no more of that left. All over here is covering up the glass seams. Making it nice. Let's see here. That'll work. Look at that. Would you look at that? Got some fuzzy bits over here. So when you're doing a job like this, specifically by yourself, that's how much we have of that second batch. When you're doing this by yourself, you kind of have in your head, you got to have an escape plan if things don't go well. Where am I going to stop? And if, like specifically, if you see things going bad, it's really hard to go back and grind and make it right. Sometimes you're better off just pulling the plug and stop. Call it if it's going to go bad. I've done that. I've had to do it several times in my career. But I kind of have a plan for what I'm going to do. In this case, if I have to stop now, I just stop now. Clean my mess. Clean my tools. Come back tomorrow and start over on that side. I don't know what time it is. So, I mean, I can't stay here till 8 o'clock tonight. I've got stuff I gotta, places I gotta be. So we'll see how this goes. I may stop it at this laminate here. I may not. I don't know. But if you have a plan, an escape plan, you know where you can stop. Just kind of build around that, plan around that. You're not caught off guard. All right, so this whole port side is completely covered in 3/4 ounce mat. And again, the purpose of this, I wanted this to be slightly over saturated. This area is very, very strong as it is. At this time, it's very, very strong. Take the abuse of the front of the boat. And everything that I build on top of here will be done in the same fashion. Matter of fact, every part and piece and component of this boat is built to add structural integrity to the boat. Nothing is just cosmetic. It might look cosmetic, but I've kind of had this mantra for a long time. Everything is structural. Every part and piece of the boat is structural. It adds integrity and strength to the boat. So, that's not exactly the case for most production boats. If you look at all production boats with a liner, that liner is just to cover up raw fiberglass. Kind of like a little pet peeve of mine, I'll be honest with you. You got this, you know, if this boat had a liner, that piece of fiberglass would weigh 1,000, 1,200 pounds. Its only purpose is to make a gel coat finished deck and under the inside of the hull. That's its only purpose. It has features, but it comes at that 1,500 pound cost. Doesn't have strength to the boat. I don't know, maybe some of them do. I could probably eat my words on that. Some 3-piece liners may add strength to the boat, maybe. But it's not like it's built into the hull. It's not glassed in like this. I can tell you that. Even on some of the higher end boats that I've been on and seen up close, they may be tabbed in around the top perimeter under the cap, but they're not glassed together like this. This boat will be one piece of fiberglass when it's done. One piece of fiberglass. Like that 23. If you go back and look at the videos of Wicked Wanda, and again, I wish I had finished that, showing all the photos of that build. I'd like to. I would love to do that, you guys. But at this time, I mean, YouTube is just kind of a hobby of mine. It is it's an investment of time, tremendous amount of time initially. If I knew that, I probably would not have started my channel, but here I am, so I'll keep plugging away at it, guys. Okay, that first lamp is in fact kicking down here. Oh yeah, that's kicking off. Good news. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time to roll that glass out there. We weren't short on time. So anyway, at this point, I don't know how much longer I'll let you guys sit and watch me do this. It's probably exhausting for you guys. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think. I'm happy to respond. I always respond to your comments, guys. Tell me what you think. Comments, suggestions. How do I teach you guys how to do what I know how to do? And I'm not saying I know everything, I don't. But I know how to do some things. And how do I teach you guys what I know? That's what I'd like to figure out. That's what I'd like to figure out. Okay. Enough hard rolling. I don't see any air anywhere. If I see it, I'll roll it out, I promise. Might be a little tiny little spot right there on the surface of the resin. So like I said, it's starting to go. That part is kicking off, so we are, oh, look at that. I think we're going to pull the plug on this lamp. It is rather low here, and that resin just started to gel in my bucket. Okay, get that jelly off. So my bucket is gelling. I don't know if you can see that. Not very well see that, but I would get in big trouble if I tried to lay it this other side. Maybe not, because there's really nothing interacting. The only part that would get hot and kick on me would be this part right here, but just because it's late, I'd rather do a nice good job like lay up in the morning. Readjust. I do have to tear some more mat that I kind of burned up in the first layup here. And we'll reconvene. See if I can get that little air pocket right there. Right there. I think it's just on the mat. There's a teeny tiny little spot right there. Not bad. I'm happy with it. It's a good lamp. A little jelly right there. Good lamp. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if you learned anything. I don't know. I don't know if you can see anything. I don't know what this is going to look like. I'll have to watch this myself. I'll throw my own comments in if you guys don't. Live layups. Alright. That is nice and beefy. And stinky. Nice and stinky. Wow. Tomorrow I'll be wearing a full face. You guys won't be able to hear me talk tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do this tomorrow. Tell me again. Leave a comment, guys. If you listened this far and you would like me to do this, and you actually enjoyed this, then let me know. I'll do more. If not, I won't do it again. If everybody hated it. If I get like a bunch of thumbs down and negative comments, that'll be fine. I won't do it again. Then I won't. But that looks good. Guys, that's tight. a wrap. We'll call it. I'll do a better job in the morning. Time to finish this side. I thought I could get it done, but you know, we're not gonna make it, so that's okay. At least I didn't get caught bad with a big mess. Try to get this roller off while I can. Not too big of a mess, guys. Not too bad. I'll clean up here on aisle 3. Alright guys, looks good. Let me get rid of this kicking resin. We'll do it again tomorrow. Do it again tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed it. Ugh. Let's see here. I'll give you guys a quick overview here real quick. Let's see. Oh, look, I got some questions. Interesting. Hey guys. This is a boat. This is the inside of a boat. Interesting, I got some questions. Cool. Yeah, this is a boat. And that's my LAYUP. This is the inside of a water tank. And I'm reinforcing the corners at this time. Those panels are actually cored with, was it 3/4 inch Vernese? And yeah, there you go. We'll finish this side tomorrow. Alright guys, I don't even know how to shut this off, but thanks for sticking with me. Appreciate you. And let me know what you guys think.